right, everybody, let's get up our chop builders. Choose your option. I'm going to be playing 3A right now. Okay, ready? 1, 2, chop builders. 1, 2, ready? All right, folks. Remington, F Remington, start letter A. Good breath, right? Every 4 measures. 1, 2, ready? Chop builders, please. Hello, folks. B flat scale. That's what we're working on right now. Your concert B flat scale is in the back of your blue books. If you want to go ahead and take a look there, or you can look at the major scale sheets that you have in your binders. We're just going to go do quick sizzle / mouthpiece play. Sizzle, mouthpiece, play, sizzle, mouthpiece, play with all 3 components of this. So let's just go ahead and sizzle, or mouthpiece if you're a brass player, the major scale, just that part, no arpeggio yet. Ready? 1, 2, ready? If you sizzle mouthpiece, play it with us. Ready? 1, 2, ready? Arpeggio, sizzle mouthpiece. 1, 2, ready? Go back and do it again. If not, play it with us. Arpeggio, 1, 2, ready? mouthpiece, then play. Ready? Thirds, 1, 2, ready. And play it. Ready? 1, 2, ready. Something that's great about the YouTube feature is that you can go to the settings wheel in the bottom corner and you can make that slower so that you can sizzle along at a slower tempo and play along at a slower tempo. Okay, so go back and do that if you struggle with that. Mr. Hurd's going to do a little bit of a tidbit about clarinet fingerings, and then we're going to play horn and clarinet 2 octaves after that. So if you play any other instrument, don't worry about it. Move on to the next thing. If you play clarinet or horn, stick around.
First thing is, we're just going to do the scale part. I don't think we're going to do the second octave and anything else, but all the fingerings still apply. But the clarinet second octave is all the same letters in a row. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. But the fingerings are a little bit different. I'm going to zoom in here. Check it out. Your first note is the same as your highest note in the previous version of the scale. It's thumb, register, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and bip. When you go up to the note D, you lift your pinky up, and it's just thumb, register, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When you go up to the note E, you lose another finger. So it's just thumb, register, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then when you go up to F, lose another finger, thumb, 1, 2, 3, 4. G is thumb, 1, 2, 3. And then A is thumb, register, 1, 2. B is thumb, register, 1. And then finally, high C is just the thumb and the register key. And that sounds like this. Oh, I'm sorry. And then to do it back down, you just go the opposite way and put one finger down at a time. And that's it.
And French horns, I'm going to tell you 2 different types of fingerings. So we have the single horn fingerings, which some of you have, and we have double horn fingerings. So we have your high C, right? You know high C. This is single horn. Open. High D, open. High E, open, right? You're playing like this. Same fingering, just a different note. You're playing higher. And then high F on the horn. First finger for single horn. For double horns, we're going C, D is thumb 1, 2, E is thumb and 2, and then high F is just thumb open. Okay, so high D is going to be thumb 1, 2, high E, thumb 2, high F, thumb open. And you can start, what you can do is you can start on the very bottom note, which me and Mr. Hurd are going to do, and we're going to go all the way up to the top note and back down. So we're going to do 2 octave scales. So you can slow this down and do it with us, okay?
Start on the lowest, and then you start back at the beginning of the scale again on the high one. Here we go. Off your count, Mr.
Okay.
Kugel.
1, 2, ready. Extra challenge, something you can slow down and work on your own. Hello, chart 12.75, line 5. Pause the video to get it up, or if you already have it up, let's get ready to go. let's write in the counts. Let's start with measure 1. Again, 12.75, line 5. We have a big 1 and a, big 2 and then we have an 8th note rest on, is it beat 1, 2, or 3? Beat 3, right? So it's going to be little with a slash, okay? Then we have 3, right? We take our 16th notes here, right? 1 E and a, or in this case, 3 E and a. Beat 3, rest. Beat the E of beat 3, rest. So we have and a, right? That's it, okay? So we have big and then a big 4, big and big a. If you need to pause the video to write that in, do that. Next one, we have a rest on beat number 1. So we're going to do a little 1 with a slash. 1 and a, 2 E and a. Then we have another 8th rest on beat number 3, so little 3 with a slash. Big and, big 4. If you need to pause the video, pause the video. If not, let's move on. This is measure number 3. Got a big 1, little 2, big and. Then this is beat 3, and beat 3 is a rest, so it's going to be a little 3 with a slash, big and, big and then a big 4. Next one, we got a rest on beat 1, so we have a little 1 with a slash, big and, big so we have and right? Big 2, big and. This is beat 3. We have a rest on beat 3, so we have and again, so we have a little 3 with a slash, and then a big 4, okay? We're gonna do this one measure at a time, all right? Let's count the first measure. 1 and 2, count the first measure, go. 1 and a 2 and a 4 and a again, ready, go. 1 and a 2 and a 4 and a. Need to hear that rest, okay? Let's do the second measure. Nothing on beat 1. 1, 2, measure 2, ready, go. And a 2 E and 4 again, go. And a 2 E and 4. Okay, count those two together. Measures 1 and 2. Ready, 1, 2. Count them together. Ready, go. 1 and a 2 and a 4 and a 2 E and 4. Great. If you need to go back and do that again, do it again. If not, let's sizzle. Ready, 1, 2, sizzle, ready, go. Again, if you need to sizzle, actually go back and sizzle it, back up the video. If not, let's play. 1, 2, play it, ready, go. Okay, if you need to back up a little bit, back up a little bit. If not, let's move on. Let's count measures 3 and 4. Ready? 1 and 2, measures 3 and 4, count, go. 1 and a 4, just that much actually, just measure 3 again, ready, and go. 1 and a 4, right, we need to hear that rest, okay, next measure, nothing on beat 1, nothing on beat 3, 1 and 2, count this measure, ready, go. And a 2 and a 4, again, go. And a 2 and a 4, together, 1, 2, measures 3 and 4, go. 1 and a 4, and a 2 and a 4, sizzle, 2, ready, go. Play it, 2, ready, go. Okay, if you need to redo any of that, then go back and redo it. If not, that's all on rhythm today, so we're gonna move on to the next thing. See you later.
Hey, that was a good video. Hey, do you have chapstick? Because I found this cork grease. Does that work fine?
You know, you do you, Mr. Wilson.
Okay. Actually, that's gross.
All right, everybody, welcome. As we all board, this train. Number 66. This train.
Choo-choo.
Blue book. So let's observe a few things before we get started. The tempo of this is, as it says, moderato, which is not quite allegro, but not quite andante, you know? So it's not fast, it's not walking, it's somewhere in between. It's a moderate tempo. Second, let's look at the time signature. 2-4. We're never going to count above 2 in this one, as far as I can tell, which is good because I only have 5 fingers, and this last time I checked, 2 is less than 5. Wonderful. Now, the third thing I want to look at before we begin is the key signature. Flutes, oboes, trombone, baritone, bassoon, tuba, mallets. We have 3 flats. Welcome to the 3 flat club. And if you use our fancy word, Beatgesif, what are those flats? B, E, and A flat, right? That's a B flat, an E flat, and an A flat. Be very careful of that. Now, if you're a member of the 1 flat club, you may play the clarinet, the bass clarinet, the tenor sax, or the trumpet. And if you're a member of the 1 flat club, then you have just a B flat. Now, moving over to the saxophones, we have nothing in the key signature. You see nothing because this is your C major. You see no sharps and flats, so everything is going to be natural. That's F natural, and that's also B natural. In horns, you are a member of the prestigious 2 flat club, where we have both B flat and E flat. Okay, I think we've looked at enough information. Let's look at that first measure. It's forte, loud. Let's just look at the first rhythm. Why don't we all count that together? Ready? Tap your toe. Count it. Here we go. 1 and. Do that plus 1. Again, here we go. 1 and 1. That's all we really need to do. Let's sizzle it once. I'll play. We'll play. You sizzle. First measure plus 1. 2. Ready? And. Again, here we go. And ready. And if at any time you feel we're moving too fast for you, that's okay. Hit pause, rewind it back, and you can even use the YouTube setting to slow down the speed of the video so you can get a little bit slower practice session in. Good, let's look at measure 2. It's 4/8 notes. 1 and 2 and. You know this, it's quite simple. Sizzle while we play. Sizzle while we play. 1, 2, measure 2, here we go. Excellent, let's do that one more time. Ready, sizzle, or play, here we go. Wonderful, let's do the first 2 measures. And brass players, go ahead and grab that mouthpiece off the instrument. Let's buzz this one while we play. First 2 measures. 2, ready, and go. Wonderful. And Mr. Kugel leads us to our next point, the plus 1. Let's add it in there. First 2 measures plus 1. 1, 2, ready, and. Wonderful. Now let's take a look at that measures 3 and 4. We're going to do this as a unit. First, the first 8th note. How many beats is that worth, Mr. Kugel?
Oh, I'd give it a half.
It's a half a beat. That's where your foot goes down. And the dotted quarter note takes up the rest of the measure. And then it's tied to a half note, which takes up the entirety of the next measure. So it's 4 beats total over 2 measures. 1 and. Good. Now let's try those 2 measures together. You sizzle while we play. 2, measures 3 and 4. Ready? Here we go. And you breathe at the end. Try that a few times and see how it goes. Let's look at the first 4 measures in one big chunk. Once again, brass players, I'd like you to keep mouthpiecing for right now and then go back again, put the mouthpiece back in, and play it with us.
Percussion,
Measures 1
make
through
sure
4.
that your rolls are nice and even. The single stroke roll.
Very nice. Let's try this. 1 through 4. 2, ready? And yeah, a nice little breath there. So like I said, you can go back in this video, slow it down, and work on measures 1 through 4. Now, before we move forward, we're going to talk about a simple concept known as syncopation. And I think Mr. Kugel had a little bit to say. He was sort of sketching a whole artistry of thingies back here on the board about how you should be playing the eighth quarter eighth with appropriate syncopated style.
Okay. Eighth note, staccato. Not friends, need space. Quarter note is aggressive, right? It's an accent in the middle, need space. Eighth note, we're gonna make it staccato. So we have syncopation, which means, remember, emphasis on the upbeat when your foot's going up. So we have one and, like that. Let's say that. Ready, go.
One
and. Notice how our and is louder than the one. Again, ready, and say it.
One and.
Good, okay.
Now, you could say that those notes are practicing some social distancing.
Where's your drum set?
Online band. Wonderful. Let's move forward. Measures 5, 6, 7, and 8. This is our second phrase. Little mini phrase. And one thing we can notice in this is that it's the exact same rhythm. Quite simple. However, the notes have changed. So we're going to play this, and we'd like you to first letter name this. Start at measure 5. We're going to do 5, 6, 7, and 8 all together, letter named. 2, move your fingers, letter name. Let's do it one more time. Woodwinds, I'd like you to sizzle. Brass players, I'd like you to mouthpiece. 2, 3. Let's all play it together this time. 2, 3. Wonderful. Now let's go to the next chunk. Next 4 measures. We have measure 1 through 8 done. Now we're looking at 9, 10, 11, and 12. The rhythm has changed. The dynamic has changed. We get really soft, and then we gradually get louder and louder and louder until we get back to forte. Let's count the rhythm, shall we? 2, measure 9, count it, go. 1 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. I'll start a little quieter this time. You sizzle, we play. 2. Let's all get aboard this train. 2 and ready and. Ooh, crispy. Let's try that again. +1. Ready? 2. Ready? Nice and quiet. Excellent. If you haven't played it, scroll back and play it. Wonderful. Let's do the last chunk of 4, then we're going to put the whole thing together.
Soft does not mean bad breath, right? Soft means not, right? Okay, still got to take a good breath.
Yeah. Let's do this. Last 4 measures. Notice this is the same rhythm as earlier. The first 4, the second 4, and now the final 4.
Same notes too, right?
Same
Yeah.
notes. Yeah. Exactly the same. Breath marks in a little different spot. Let's try it. 2, last 4, here we play. Now, why is it that breath mark's in such a strange place? We never want to break a crescendo, right? It ruins it. So we want to complete that 4-bar phrase with a little bit extra so we finish that crescendo and take a breath after we finish that little thought. Now let's try the whole darn thing, shall we? From the beginning. Start big, get soft, and then get bigger again. 2, ready, beginning. Wonderful. Thank you for getting aboard this train. All right.
We've arrived.